I am Sarah Nealis, and I am playing Ellie Dunn.
Lise Bruneau, and I play Hesione.
J. Paul Bamer, and I'm Hector.
In the world, and
I have to start. Great. First of all, because I have a great story about this play, which I will tell in a moment. But this was one of the first Shaws that I read when I was very, very young, and I was so instantly enamored of it. I feel like we all know of him as an intellect, very wise, sort of socially, and just very prescient with a lot of his ideas, and great with character and humor and stuff like that. But it's unusual. This play is quirkier, very, very much quirkier than a lot of his other pieces. And so these characters are very easy to fall in love with and easy to have a ball with, especially Hesione, I have to say. She's just a riot. So I have probably been wanting to do this role longer than I've wanted to do any other role in my life. So I'm really, really glad to be here because of that. But beyond that, I was watching a production of this play when I went into labor with my son, and stayed till the end of the play and met the actors afterwards. That's my Heartbreak House tale.
That's commitment. That's wonderful.
I felt so lost for so long, and was sort of panicking because I felt like I was having a hard time. I sort of understood the beginning of Ellie's journey, and then it just turned into I couldn't follow her journey. And then I realized that that's exactly what she's going through. It's just this complete disorientation, complete reconfiguring of understanding the world and the way people work with people communicate with one another and relate as she knows it, and so that works. And I think for me, I usually take a lot of time preparing, and for this one, because I kept coming up against so many roadblocks, I thought I'm just going to go into the room and work with the people and understand, through rehearsal, through conversation with the director, and just be as open as possible to understand what is going on.
He wants everybody to be someone we can laugh at, sort of at their expense. He wants everybody to teach us something about humanity. He wants everybody to be able to break our hearts, and he wants everybody to sort of take us to another stage of human understanding. And you kind of can't have two of those at the same time. You know what I mean? It's just asking so much. So I think all of us are like making slow progress to figure out what's going on, except for Paul, who walked in with his performance day one.
And it hasn't changed an iota since. This is my fourth Shaw play. I saw a production of this play that was done for American Playhouse in 1991 is when I saw it, while preparing to work on Man and Superman. And I fell in love with the play. I think for me, you and I have talked about it, it's a play you can spend the rest of your life on. And unlike a lot of Shaw, which seems very direct in its narrative and direct in where it wants you to go, this play seems to be like an explosion of ideas that, because it's Shaw, certainly wants to lead you somewhere, but is more open to you going to many other places. And I like to describe this play as more of a deep muscle tissue massage than an assault.
Nice.
Which is why I'm attracted to this play. So.
I love my deep tissue massage.
Well, of course you do. And I have also wanted to play Hesione ever since I saw this play.
We all want to play Hesione.
It's relevant today. It's also so relevant to Shaw's time, and he was very much in love with Chekhov. The Cherry Orchard was something that he was just absolutely crazy about. And this sort of decline, the wealthy just kind of not being able to get used to the new way of doing things, not really being able to keep up with the times, and just sort of lazily looking around themselves and sort of seeing the world beginning to eat them alive. There's a big businessman in the show, and of course everyone greets him with the knowledge of what that means, this sort of Napoleon of industry, evil, moneymaker. He, of course, turns over several stones and reveals a lot about himself that we weren't expecting at all. But a lot of the things that he says and that we sort of describe, that we discuss in light of that character, incredibly timely. He was somebody that would put up money for a new business, let the people kill it, and then buy it back from them, and continue making it a success. He's somebody that got into politics without the trouble of an election, or what is the word he uses?
He was appointed.
Without having to go through the business of an election.
Yeah, so the bother of an election, like
Right.
why would you bother? No, he just gets appointed so that he can protect his business interests. And one of the things that he's really good at, he doesn't quite know how to pass any laws or have any ideas, but what he does know how to do is mess over the other guy.
It's about people relating with each other and discovering that they aren't really who they present themselves to be. They're actually bigger and much more than, and oftentimes disappointingly so.
Yeah, right, because you'll come in and make decisions about everybody. You'll be like, oh, that's that guy, that's that girl, that's that person, and that's that person.
I've seen all these archetypes before.
And the very fact that he set it in a English country home sets up a huge expectation which is instantly demolished,
Servants
which is what he does. On the one hand there is, and on the other hand it is sort of flying, but
Yeah, it does. I mean, he doesn't, although Captain Shotover, he's certainly, the first presentation of the character is nothing like a moral compass at all. He's the least attached to reality and any sort of sense of grounding or center. He, comes in the room, says things that make people go, what? And runs out of the room to leave them with, to pick up the pieces and try to figure it out. But, as Shaw does with all characters in this play, flips it on you, and eventually we get to understand who Shotover is, what he's about, why he does what he does. And he, especially for my character, I would say, for Ellie, he emerges as the one true voice that's actually tapped into what this world is about and what you need to do to survive it and to actually live and, to live your life. And it's really, really beautiful, and she ends up sort of attaching to that. It's certainly not the Hushabies.
Nope.
No
it is
way.
good because Shotover is he is the most trustworthy voice, as I think you said in the show. But at the beginning, you're like, oh, we're going to stay as far away from this guy as possible.
Yeah, he seems just there for humor.
Yeah, and then he's the only one that's actually being honest with himself and with the world. It's really good.
Yeah.
But Shaw really, really does not underestimate his audience at all. He expects a lot from you guys, a lot, and part of that is that you are your own moral compass. So while you're watching the shenanigans that are going on in this house, he is expecting you to be on your toes and really analyze how you feel about this and this and this, and challenging it to not be what you expected. Challenging you to sort of try to go a little deeper and make decisions that are sort of formed on more than what you thought in the first 5 minutes.
And also when he gets you to the point where you are feeling competent to make a decision, he then switches it on you to go,
Not so
which is
fast.
really wonderful, because not many playwrights do that and are really able to.
Right, and it makes it so fun.
You do it with everyone.
Yeah.
With every single character.
Yeah.
Yeah, risky.
Yeah.
And we gave our glorious laddie.
For my money, it's really valuable, I think, to see a play set 100 years ago so that you can really be with it in a way that you couldn't be if this were set today. Because it does challenge how we are in the world, how we are as a nation in the world, how any nation is as a nation in the world, how we are living with each other acutely, deftly, and intelligently, and with a sense of humor and a real sense of compassion and honor. And with great ease, because we're dressed for 1916 as opposed to 2012. So it takes you off the hook as an audience member, and it keeps you on the hook at the same time, which I think is really exciting and a rare opportunity that you really don't get often. And it's much different seeing it on television or in the film or in the cinema than it is as a live theater audience, because television and film doesn't breathe with you, whereas live theater, even though we've rehearsed it and we've done it, and you know, some of us are phoning it in, it really is alive and different every night. So you alter it and it alters you, and it's different every night, and it's right there, in a profound way that isn't available on film and television. I'm done.
I don't know how to top it, but I would just add that this play, this theater experience, it has been stimulating some of the best conversations I've had in a long time with the audience members, with the cast. I mean, I just think it works on your subconscious in a way that you'll go away from it and then end up going, oh my goodness, and having these wonderful conversations about how relevant it is to today, and that's shocking and disturbing and necessitates a conversation about what's going on and how similar we are to these people, and how important it is to pay attention and to, quote, navigate yourself, your own ship, as a major part in the world. You can't deny that. You have to pay attention and be engaged, and it's beautiful. It engages us with each other, as theater does. Mm-hmm. This play does it in a really beautiful way, I think.
Yeah. I think that Shaw was partially dealing with, the sort of collapse of England being, the massive power that it was for as long as it was. So we might be able to pick up a couple tips. I don't know. But ultimately, and I've been telling everybody that I have a plan to do this play every year for the rest of my life now. But this is the thing, is like it keeps giving, as Sarah was saying. It's just, there's so much there that isn't necessarily impacting you on the surface immediately. It's something that will just kind of get inside you and live with you. Totally exciting. And at the same time, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, you're gonna have a ball, because it's really funny. These people are really a joy to spend an evening with. They're all so interesting, and you can go as deep as you want, or stay as superficial as you want, and you're still going to have a blast.
Yeah.
He's a good writer.
Watching them bump up against each other is very entertaining.
Totally.